a good life, full of fun.
Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. Another big exciting day in my kitchen. Where are we going? I think what we're going to do today is we're going to head to the sea. I have the urge for fish. You guys with me on that? I love fish, and one of my favorite types of fish is a sea bass. And I love sea bass because it's thick. It's got that meat consistency to it, and if you cook it just right, and obviously that's what we're going to do, right? We're going to cook it just right. It flakes. It's just got that lightness where it flakes, and it goes so well with kind of like an earthy background, and that's what we're going to do today. So what we've got today is we've got a grilled sea bass, right, with spinach and tomato and some other beautiful ingredients that's going to give you a fun, easy to make, fast dish that is just delicious for you and your family. Okay, so let's get rocking. Number one, center stage, I've got here about a heavy pound of sea bass, okay? I've got it cut up, and I've got it almost at room temp. I don't want to put cold fish on the pan, okay? So just pull that out when you're prepping your ingredients. By then, it'll start to get into that room temperature. Secondly, I've got my spinach. Now, I want to save you time. Let's make it easy. You'll find that a lot of times you'll blanch some of those spinaches. If it's a mature spinach, it'll have a stronger bite, a lot more bitterness to it. In this case, if you go with a baby spinach, you don't really need to do that. So I've got here just shy of a pound of baby spinach, and it's been cleaned, okay, and dried, and I'm going to show you how to prep that as well. Next, we're going to want our tomato. So what I look at here is we've got water, right? We've got sea, we've got some earth. We're going to add a little bit more earth here, and I've got some cherry tomatoes. So I've got about 12 to 14 cherry tomatoes. I've got 2 tablespoons of butter, and I split them up because I'm going to use one to cook the fish and one when I'm cooking down the other ingredients, okay? So 2 tablespoons of butter. I've got here a 1/4 teaspoon of thyme. Oh, I love thyme. Thyme goes so perfect with fish, number one. In chicken, out of poultry. Secondly, again, it's got that a little bit of an herb, but a really strong, like earthy flavor. So that's beautiful, because what we want to add to that is some sunshine, okay? So we're going to take a lemon, and we're going to use zest of a lemon, and I've got a 1.5 teaspoons of zest. I'll show you how to do that really quick. And then we're going to use about 1 tablespoon to 1.5 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice, okay? We're going to want some salt. Now our salt here, I'm going to use today some gray sea salt, and we're going to use a pinch right in our spinach. And it's briny, which is really nice. We definitely want to use some fresh pepper. If you use the fresh pepper, when you crack it, those oils that come out of the pepper, they're still going to be very moist, right? If not, what happens is it dries that oil up. It doesn't give you the depth of flavor that you're going to get. And last, but equally as important, is our olive oil. Now I'm thinking we want a great quality olive oil, maybe something that's phenomenal, world-renowned. For anybody new to our channel, I own a farm in Italy. It's in Puglia, Italy. It's just above the heel, and it's in a little village called Vito del Gargano. We co-op with a group of farms to bring you some of the best olive oil in the world. And if you go to our Facebook page or our cooking page, Cooking Italian with Joe, you can click on the Buy It Now button. We'll actually drop ship it right to your front door, and I call it a trip to Italy right in the bottom. All right, let's get going, start making some grilled sea bass. Okay, first thing we want to get going is our tomatoes. So I'm going to pull these off the vine. Here I don't want them too big, but at the same time, I don't want to make them too small. So I'm going to cut them right in half, and those will be perfect for the base of our fish. Tomatoes are done now. Oh, garlic. Okay, so I'm going to use 2 cloves of garlic and 2 fat cloves nonetheless. So sometimes I'm with people and they'll be like, hey, go light on the garlic. I don't like garlic. You know what I do? You know what I do with those people? I tell them to get out of my house, number one, okay? I don't know that I like people that don't like garlic, okay? So I'm just gonna peel this garlic, and then I wanna slice it up nice and thin. You'll find in a lot of the Italian cooking, that authentic cooking, you wanna see a piece of garlic. You're not trying to hide it. And just bring it across. This will break down in that spinach when we cook it. And we want thin enough to cook fast, but not so thin that it falls apart, that it goes away, okay? All right, so garlic's done, tomatoes are done. Now I'm over at the stove and I've got a pan that we're gonna use in order to cook our tomatoes, our garlic, our spinach, okay? How you doing, right? And then I've got another pan over here, cast iron. I wanna use that to cook down that bass. And I like the cast iron because it gives me that really nice hot heat that's equally distributed. Gives you a nice crust. All right, let's get going on our tomatoes and our garlic, okay? So first thing we wanna do is prep this pan. I got medium heat going. I'm gonna take some of my Vito and Joe's best olive oil. Hopefully you guys ordered some. And I'm gonna put a splash in there. And I'm gonna put about 2 to 3 tablespoons. And now gently I'm gonna put my tomatoes in. Next I'm gonna put my garlic in. Now I wanna give everything a gentle stir just to get everything coated with that olive oil. Okay, tomatoes and garlic are going. Oh, the smell in there is fantastic, okay? Real quick, we wanna get some zest going and we wanna get some lemon juice going. So a little trick I do, I just take a zester, right? And I'm going to rub it on top of the lemon. And when you do that, what you're gonna do is you're gonna see the zest will accumulate right at the top. Just makes it easy and fast. And then I'm just gonna take that. So I've got about 1.5 teaspoons of zest. Now what I'm gonna do is cut that lemon in half, and I want about 1.5 tablespoons of lemon juice. So I wanna keep the tomatoes, I wanna keep that structure. I'm trying to cook down that garlic. I want to flavor the oil. So I want to cook this down to get the juice, the water content, a lot of it out of the tomato. And you're going to see my garlic. I don't want to do anything more than brown. So generally when you can, and it's not there yet, when you push down on the garlic and it just kind of falls apart, not snaps, but kind of mushes, I know I'm there. So I got a few more minutes there. Okay guys, our tomatoes are just starting to get soft. The garlic is nice and mushy, all right? So I'm gonna do a couple of things. One, I'm gonna use about 1/2 teaspoon of my salt. I'm gonna take about 1/2 teaspoon of freshly ground pepper. I'm gonna take just a pinch of the thyme to give us a depth of flavor here in the tomato. I'm gonna take my tablespoon of butter, and I'm gonna take all my lemon zest, and then just give it a nice stir. The moisture from the butter is gonna deglaze the pan. As soon as your butter's melted, then we're gonna add our spinach. Don't worry about the volume of spinach here because it's going to cook way down. Okay, our spinach is in. I'm gonna put a cover right over the top. As soon as you cover the spinach, I'm gonna start heating on my cast iron. So I'm gonna turn the heat on my cast iron about medium, maybe a tad higher. I've got tongs for my spinach and tomato, and then I've got a spatula, which is perfect for the fish. While the cast iron's heating up, let's prep the fish. First thing, I'm gonna take some Vito and Joe's olive oil. Hopefully you guys got some. I'm gonna just do a nice light drizzle right over the top of the fish, really light. Now I'm gonna take the fish and cover it with the oil. That's gonna give me a good surface for all my seasoning to stick to, and it ensures a better, even quality of cook and crisp. Now you've got a skin side here, if you will, which the skin's off on this, and you've got the fresh side, okay? So we want to do the skin side down when we start. And real simple, I'm going to use some salt, I'm going to use some pepper, and then I'm going to use some of our thyme. I'm going to turn this around. Same thing, I'm going to salt, pepper, and then the remaining of our thyme. Okay, let's check our spinach. Oh, that is perfect. So our spinach is done. That's exactly what I want. I'm just gonna give it a stir. I'm gonna shut the heat off and give it a nice stir just to deglaze as much of that beautiful deliciousness on the bottom of the pan, okay? Now I'm gonna put the top right over it, set it off to the side. Now I'm gonna put some Vito and Joe's in my cast iron pan. And I want about 1 tablespoon, maybe 1.5 tablespoons. And I wanna get the pan totally covered. A couple of tips here to make this come out great. Number one, fish is about room temp, seasoned, ready to go. My pan's hot with oil. I wanna make sure I put the skin side down first with the fish, whether there's skin on it or not. And that's the tougher part that keeps the structure. That's why you do that first. Another great tip on this recipe that makes it come out great is if you subscribe to our channel. There's a red button right there. When you click that, what it does is any trips, any new recipes, any blogs, anything going on with Cooking Italian with Joe, it'll come right to your notification box. And I'll tell you, it really means a lot to me when you subscribe to our channel, and hey, it makes you part of the family, you know what I'm saying? All right, so the pan's hot, I got a little steam coming, this puppy's ready to go. Let's get our fish in. Okay, so here we go, right in our pan. Tip right now, don't touch it. As that protein starts to cook, it'll actually free itself from the pan on its own. And I'm gonna put a cover over it. I don't wanna keep the steam in there. I just wanna prevent that splatter. Okay, it's been about 2 minutes. I'm gonna turn that over. Look at that. Is that absolutely perfect? I'm gonna turn that right over to the other side. Same thing, put that cover over it. Now you'll notice these are almost done and they're just starting to get a little bit flaky, a little tender. So I'm gonna switch to my spatula Okay, our fish is almost done. So right when you got about a minute left, I'm gonna put my butter and my lemon juice right on the fish. Now, an important tip on that fish is you want to pull it out about a minute before you think it's done. So it's right on the cusp. I want to prep my plate to serve. So I'm going to take my tomato spinach, just put that on my plate, and we are perfect. So now I'm going to take that sea bass, right? I'm just going to put it right over the plate. Oh, that is good. And then just a little tip, I'm going to take a little bit of that juice and just drizzle that right over the top. First off, the aroma in here is unbelievable. Okay, secondly, I want to plate this, okay? So I'm going to bring it off to the side. How beautiful is that, guys? Okay, my Italiana foodies. Boy, this is good right there. Oof. Oh, the aroma, you can smell the tomatoes, the spinach, the garlic, the butter, the thyme. Oh, it's just fantastic. And you've got that beautiful crust to it. Let's bite right into that, see how we cooked. And you're going to see, like I said earlier, you're going to see how this flakes. See how she just flakes apart? See that? So I got to get the perfect bite now. So I need the fish. I need tomato. I need to be able to talk a little. Oh, does that look just phenomenal? The first thing that hits you is that lemon, so it brightens it up. And then you got the texture of the sea bass, the spinach, the butter, the pepper, the thyme. And there's depth of flavor the whole way through this. And the tomato really starts to come strong in the end. Oh my God. And it's light. And there's a richness with that sauce, both with the fish and the spinach and tomato, and that's that butter they add right at the end with the lemon juice. You know, I'm thinking like pairing it with a light white wine. What would I use? Oh, a Prosecco, because I use it for everything. All right, so let's do one more bite just to torture all of us. Oh boy, that is absolutely delicious. Thanks so much for joining me in my kitchen today. Don't forget, guys, hit that subscribe button, make it part of the family, hit our Facebook or our webpage, and click buy now. We'll drop ship you a bottle of Vito and Joe's extra virgin Italian olive oil right to your front doorstep. And remember, shut off the electronics and the TV and the cell phone, and get around the table and tell stories, make a mess, burn a few things, what the hell, right? Celebrate your heritage, set some traditions that last your lifetime. I know they did for me. Hey, from my kitchen to yours, until next week,
Good
bon
life.
appetito.
Full of fun seems to be the idea.